Okay, folks, Mandala turned 77. We're getting creamed. We just got attacked here in Pergami, and instead of sending assassins, they just sent an army. And their army rolled right over me. This Ice Devil, who was scripted to assassinate super combatants and mages and stuff, he actually flew over to the edge of the Dai Bakemono square and killed 4 of them, and then was chopped down by repeated attacks. The rest of my army, of course, accomplished nothing. So, Pergami is about to fall. We've started to destroy the fort in the High Woods. It says the walls are hardly damaged. That's because the iron walls just wore off. So, if we keep chopping at it, it'll be fine. We are getting the hell assassinated out of us here. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commanders this turn. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 commanders, 21 commanders coming back in. So, yeah, we're going to be able to keep up with the rate. Now, we have lost a number of mages, but I think we have enough that we'll be able to storm the place. And that will be my final revenge. We'll be taking this Sink Marsh and this Copper Idol away. I have 3 separate diabolical schemes being enacted right now. Unfortunately, they're going to take time to do, time which I'm not entirely certain I have. So, here's the plans. I still have pretty healthy Blood Slave income, and will for a few turns more at least. We're going to take that away from her. I'm falling back from my outer forts to Tianqi, which actually is not a very good fort, but what I can do is, instead of this fortified city, which only has 300 wall integrity, what I could do is I could destroy that fort and cast 3 red seconds here, which would create a citadel of power, like these, that has 750 wall integrity, and more fort defenders. Not sure it would actually save me much, if anything, but so we're just going to pull people back here in order to hold Tianqi as long as possible, and we'll be blood hunting in Tianqi as well. In terms of research, we're researching down to blood level 9 still, because I can already start casting Infernal Crusade, summon Demon Knights. That could be moderately useful. Or bind Demon Lords. But the important thing here is what I need actually is Blood Vortex, which requires level 7 blood. So we're going to empower. There's 3 people in total that I want to empower in blood, because there's 3 different things I want to do. The first is Li Tiequai. I only need to empower him in blood, I think, once before he could summon vampires. So that is, as you see here, Curse of Blood. That's only blood 3. So yeah, I could just empower him in blood once, slap a couple boosters on him, he could start pumping out vampires. I'm not sure vampires would necessarily save me at this point, but they give me something that I could do. The other one is Tang, because Tang could cast Astral Corruption. He would need level 6 blood to do that, so that would require at least 3 levels there. He'd also need level 6 astral. But before we get down there, I could forge, there's a book I can forge with the blood astral cross paths that is a blood booster at level 8 construction, so I'd have to hit level 8 construction for that. That might take too long. So I think what I'll actually do first here is, I will actually get a hold of Blood Vortex and cast it on Tianqi. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I do have Order. Unfortunately, I have Order 3 Dominion. So my Dominion will cause the Blood Vortex to be less effective, but there's tons and tons of population around here, so it should do something. Hopefully. So I'm going to empower Bixie, I think, because empowering in blood is relatively cheap. So we'll empower him twice more in blood, and then he'll cast, or actually, is it twice more or is it only once? I'm losing my mind. It's twice. He needs to be level 7 blood. So we'll empower him in blood, get the Blood Vortex up, and then we will have a little bit more Blood Slave income to play with to make Li Tiequai a Vampire Caster. We may actually be able to empower them both again next turn, and if we can do that, then we can throw down the Blood Vortex, and then the next turn we can start summoning vampires. So that would be fun. I think that's about all I can do at this point. Like I said, we're storming that castle. We've got all these guys still researching. I guess I don't technically need blood level 9, do I? Infernal Prison's kind of a fun spell, as is Cocytus. Send Horde, Infernal Force, Infernal Crusade. Infernal Crusade will be really good if and when once I get the Blood Vortex up, actually. Yeah, let's stick with it. Let's go. It'll be 3 more turns to get Blood Magic level 9. All these guys are moving. We have more mages moving in who will be able to research. We've got a ton of magic items sitting around gathering dust, albeit a lot of them are Sanguine Dowsing Rods. Oh, and we're kitting Bifrons out as an assassin. I'm sending gold to Satis to purchase a Shade Mail, and Bifrons will be kitted out as an assassin. I want to give him flying shoes or something else to increase his combat speed, so that he can rush over and hit the enemy before they get spells off. But that's going to have to wait just a couple of turns here, because I just alchemized all of my gems in order to empower Li Tiakwai in Death, so that he could be Death 4. Which will enable him to summon vampires once I also empower him in Blood. I should have been doing stuff like this earlier, but honestly, I have not been playing this game very well. I've been a combination of distraction and ill health lately, and yada yada yada. In any case, this game I've not been playing to my usual standards. Not that my usual standards in Dominions are like super high, but I haven't been playing up to them in this game. So we'll see how it goes. We will just have to see how it goes. Let's see if I can exact a little bit of revenge on the Bakemono before they storm in and crush me. We'll see if we can do it. I'll turn I'll turn Tenchi into a citadel of blood and demons, and we'll see what Fisher King with his good scales has to say about that, huh? So I'll see you in turn 78, and we'll see how it's going. We're gonna lose that fort, and then he's gonna go take that fort, and then I don't know. Like I said, we'll stack up on the capital and see if we can stand him off here. In any case, thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, folks, Mandala turn 78. This one's probably going to be pretty brief. We've got armies attacking across multiple fronts in Pergamy. The enemy stormed in, captured the fortress. I did pretty much no damage. In fact, I did literally no damage. That's to be expected when you have a huge ball of super combatants like this backed up by an army, and with the... Yeah, they're just very, very hard to handle. So we're just kind of pulling back and doing what we can. In Frosted Peaks, we were attacked by Jotun Wolves, who we killed with Life for a Life from our Garnet Sorceresses. In Anasia, we were attacked by another smaller Bakemono stack, who wiped us out. A lot of commanders were assassinated, but it doesn't matter. We have so many commanders down here in High Woods, we're just overwhelming the assassins with numbers. And we're moving in another huge ball of commanders, just to make sure nothing goes terribly wrong. We will take this fortress. It is a symbol of Bakemono defiance, and we will not allow it to stand. Down here, we're kind of falling troops back in a lot of ways. We're moving a lot of troops into Tianqi, the capital. So we're building up our siege defense. We're making Tianqi pretty much impregnable because we're empowering Bixi in order to cast not the Well of Misery. The blood one. The blood spell. Blood Vortex. That's it. That will spawn free blood slaves for us when we can't blood hunt because our lands have been overrun by goblins. We're going to try to get this in place, and then we're going to try to cast Astral Corruption and just be the bad guy. Also, I've realized that I empowered Li Tiakwai when I had already summoned a Mound Fiend, so there was no reason for that, and it was a huge waste of death gems, and I'm dumb. But, oh well, we're forging winged shoes for Bifrons so that he can fly around and assassinate people. We're also going to take this off and put on a... I'm forging it this turn. I don't have it yet. I'm sorry, my mind is gone right now. We're going to give him the stealth armor that we're going to get from Satis, actually. We're purchasing that. Am I sending the message this turn? I played this turn a couple of days ago, and I'm only now recording it, actually, so I don't remember. But at some point here, we sent Satis some money, like 300 gold, and he's forged a shade mail to send back to us, because we don't actually have the Death Earth cross path, so that Bifrons can be an assassin, and if he flies with the Carmine Cleaver, he should be able to pretty much just zip on over, murder somebody really quickly with the very, very high magical damage, and then be happy. Just win it, life. Hopefully he can hit them before they cast more than one spell. That's the important thing. So that's the whole game. We're moving a whole bunch of blood slaves around, building them up to cast that blood vortex, and that's it for turn 78. So I'll see you all in turn 79. Alright, folks, Mandala turn 79. Lots and lots of news this turn. First of all, we have taken High Woods. The enemy actually broke out and cast Vortex of Returning to get this army away. They may have taken some casualties due to the returning, which has a random chance to kill the people who run, but they got away their Mujinas, they got away all their troops, and we just stormed the castle and didn't really have to fight much. We lost some footmen, we lost some Imperial City Guards, largely to friendly fire. We were spamming a whole bunch of spells, so, you know, it happens. However, we're under siege in a lot of places, and that's because Jotunheim, who I actually had a non-aggression pact with, if I recall correctly. No, I tell a lie. They did break the non-aggression pact a few turns ago, so that's fine. They ended it correctly. In any case, they came in to attack me, and it was actually kind of hilarious, because they sent them in to attack my bloodhunting provinces, and if you'll recall, my bloodhunters were scripted to communion up and cast Life for a Life. So, he's got these 2 Jotun werewolves with lots and lots of gear, many gems invested in these Jotun werewolves. I've got all my patrollers and stuff, they're all coming forward. The werewolves are dropping like self-buffs on themselves. And wait for it. Boom. Boom. Done. That's Life for a Life, people. It's an incredibly powerful anti-thug spell. So they just died, and we stole like half their gear. In Swamp of Solitude, a large army of Jotunheim with a whole bunch of demons that they've been summoning. Looks like they've been casting the one that gives you the spell that gives you 1 of each, which, to be honest, I'm not sure is all that useful, but they've been casting it. They've also been summoning a lot of vampire lords, so they're much more powerful in blood right now than I am, which is fair. They're better at blood than I am. They came in to besiege Swamp of Solitude, which is where my throne is, and they've broken the fort, so they're going to storm it this turn. In Panofia, they managed to hit a Jotun werewolf into a province with no bloodhunters and wiped out the province defense. And then in, that was Panofia, Bataine, same thing. Then in Forest of Springs, once again, they hit my bloodhunters and got murdered. However, he did score a whole bunch of kills before he got murdered here. So I'm not sure what happened there. Like, did I not cast Life for a Life at first? Or did it take multiple casts? Yeah, for some reason it looks like they're casting Summon Imps. I don't know why they would be doing that. But okay, they're doing that, so did we just go in to fight him in melee? Yeah, it looks like we just went in to fight him in melee. Wow. That was a poor decision. He is enraged, funnily enough, and he's weakened, but still. We're just very, very slowly... and then we finally started casting Incinerate. And Incinerate does a ton of damage, so he overpowered his regeneration that way. Okay, that's fine. I thought we cast Life for a Life on him. In any case, we stormed the fort. My troops are moving out. Some of them are going down here to take this province. Others are moving north. We're still collapsing into the capital. And Tang is standing here defending, while Bixie is spending every blood slave I have to cast Blood Vortex on Tianqi. Now, we are going to have to overpower one of the globals. So hopefully we can. I'm overcasting it by a pretty significant number of blood slaves. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. The turn is actually just dropped as I'm recording this, so it's unfortunate that I didn't manage to get Tang doing something. But Bifrons is also sneaking down here to see if he can assassinate this Jotun werewolf, which would be pretty neato keen. I think he can. He's got high attack stats, 2 attacks, he's got his shade mail on, he's got his winged shoes, he's ready to party. He's going to hop in there and deal just a crap ton of damage right off the bat. And of course he also has the fire shield from the Carmine Cleaver, which is kind of cool. I think he can do it, and his prot is ridiculously high because of the cold, because of his ice protection, plus he has the chill aura. So that's actually powerful enough it might even affect the Scrati, because I think the Scrati is only cold resistant 5? I think it's 5. Nope, it's 15, never mind, it won't affect him. But the fire will. So, that's the plan for this turn. I know it's very short, but to be honest, it's kind of a short turn part of the game. We're heading up to Blood 9 still, just for funsies, and we'll see how we do. And it looks like Satis, Satis has sent a Wraith Lord to attack me. Satis is attacking me over on this flank. Can't really do anything about it right now, unfortunately. But we were hit by a Skin Shifter as well. Province Defense wiped him out. Yeah, Wood of Many Paths, attacked by a Wraith Lord who wiped us out, and Behemoth's Rest, attacked by a Wraith Lord who wiped us out. Like I said, we don't really have a good option about this. Also, we're beginning to Blood Hunt Tianqi, because there's no reason not to. So we're Blood Hunting Tianqi pretty aggressively. We're moving these folks back to Tianqi, or down to this fort. No, I think we're just moving them down to Tianqi. Just to get them safe, because we're under siege here in Panofia, which I predicted. We're under siege here in Swamp of Solitude and about to lose it. So the territory is collapsing. We're just kind of hoping that we can hold out at our Fortress of Evil in Tianqi and cause some chaos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next turn, which will be turn... where is it? Turn 80. That's right. Okay, folks, Mandala turn 80. The chaos continues. We tried to cast Blood Vortex and failed. We didn't overcast it by enough, so it didn't work. Gop the Ice Devil continues fighting devils. We captured a bunch more Blood Slaves, and we continue our retreat, as it were. So we've lost Nom. We've lost Darkwoods to a Wraith Lord. We've lost Forest of Springs to a bunch of Garm Herdings. In Ligria, we conquered that, and we lost Shade Forest to a Spectral Mage. We lost Troya to a Thug, and we lost Swamp of Solitude to an actual army, killing only a few devils. So, it's kind of a problem. We're at this point, we're just falling back. We're just trying to get the Blood Vortex off. We need a bunch more Blood Slaves before we can manage that. And we're just kind of falling back towards Tianqi. We'll be deploying that army sometime soon, just to use it to kind of ward people off, kind of keep them off our back. Up here, we're just, like, sitting around, basically. And as long as if we can keep a hold of, like, this little heartland area for a little while, we might be able to get the Blood Vortex up and do something, but at this point, we're just kind of gathering for the final stand. So, expect the turns to be very, 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 very short from here on out. We've got this large army, which is now largely diseased, marching north towards Ulm, which I anticipate being under siege sometime pretty soon, because they've got Garm Herdings, Jotun Werewolf. Yeah, it is a time and no mistake. Our research is still crazy, crazy high, so we're about to hit Blood Magic level 9, which will give us, I mean, nothing super, super impressive. Infernal Crusade, Bind Demon Lord if we wanted to, possibly the Looming Hell. That's sort of hilarious. But, yeah. I don't think I've ever cast the Looming Hell. Also, it's a global, and once again, we'd have to overpower one of the globals that's already up to get it, which I need a lot of Blood Slaves to do that, so probably not going to bother trying. But I'll try for Blood Vortex one more time in a couple turns here. In any case, all my mages are moving into Tianqi, falling back to the Imperial City to form their final stand. It's kind of funny that the Imperial City, the heart of Tianqi, has a lower wall integrity than, like, it's barely higher than a fortress. It's not very good. But in any case, we'll make our stand, and we'll see how we can go about. So that's turn 80. I'll see y'all in turn 81. Alright, folks, it's turn 81 of Mandala. As you can see, my empire is mostly gone, but I'm not going to go down totally without a fight. We have this army that is besieging the fort in Panofia. I'm moving something of a doomstack over to fight them. A great big communion backed up by a couple hundred troops. Actually, it's probably more than a couple hundred. I think it's like 300 or so troops. Anyway, the purpose of this doomstack is they form a communion. They spam out pretty much all the buffs I think I'll need to make my troops as invincible as possible, plus life after death, just in case. And then they support some mages who are casting Master Enslave 3 times. So this is actually an army that is designed to bomb in here and try to steal as many of Jotunheim's units as possible. Now, Master Enslave is an easy magic resistance negates check, so you only have to pass the check against 8. But having to pass the check 3 times makes it reasonably likely that I'll steal a good portion of the army, and this army is really good. He's got a Vampire Lord in there, he's got a bunch of Storm Demons and Frost Fiends, he's got Garm Herdings, which are his Sacreds, he'll have a lot more he'll have more mages than one Vampire Lord for sure, so it would be pretty nice to steal some of that. Down here, Garm Herdings, Demon Knights, Trolls, Gigyas, things with high magic resistance this won't work well against, and it won't work well if he's expecting it and manages and puts up anti-magic, which he might well do. It would be, you know, a very smart thing to do, but you know what, I'm just trying this. I've never actually done this before, so I thought I'd give it a shot and see if it works out the way I'm hoping it works out. The way I'm hoping it works out is, between the 3 casts, I managed to steal, like, half his army, and just kill the rest, just wipe them out, because with this big stack of infantry being buffed up with Fog Warriors, Army of Lead, Warriors of Muspelheim to make them immune to cold, and Mass Flight and Will of the Fates. So they're going to be lucky, they're going to have 20 natural protection, they're going to fly, and they're going to have mist form on them. So they should pretty much be able to just hurtle on down and chew up his troops, regardless of what happens. So I'm just doing that for fun. We're just going to see if it works. And there's a lab here so I can restock. Of course, my gem income is pretty pitiful right now. It's like 4 to 8 of everything. But I'm also building up Blood Slaves, so I'm going to wait one more turn, and then I'm going to try to cast Blood Vortex again, because I've still got Bixie here. My Blood Slave income last turn, about a 77. It was exactly 77. Now, these Blood Hunters are unfortunately having to move, but I should be able to get, you know, a good piece, a good little bit of Blood Slaves. I'm Blood Hunting my capital. I'm Blood Hunting in Ministra. I'm going to be Blood Hunting in here, in Betaine. I'm also moving my giant stack that took this fortress, High Woods, up to end the siege of Ulm, which is very low impact, as it were. And I've been continuously being attacked by a whole bunch more Jotun wolves, some of whom have died. So he tried to hit me in Forbidden Forest, and I managed to run over him with my stack, and I actually enslaved his Scrati, which is sort of hilarious. So I have this Scrati just in my army now. We're going to take him up to Ulm, and then we're going to restore his mind, and then make him our Scrati, which will be pretty sweet, since I do have a Huli Jing here. And I think I have another Thistle Mace. I don't, so I should forge a Thistle Mace. So you should change shape, and you can have this Dwarven Hammer, and you can forge me a Thistle Mace. I have a lot of Thug equipment that I have stolen off of various Scrati, because a whole bunch of Scrati have gotten killed by my Blood Hunters or wandering armies at this point. So, like these Frostbrands, the Vine Shield, the Boots of the Messenger, those are all Scrati kit that I've stolen. The Flambeau, I think I forged, or I stole from somebody. I stole a pair of Earth Boots from somebody. One of these Amulets of Anti-Magic I stole from somebody. It's been pretty ridiculous. It's been pretty crazy. I'm researching down towards Construction level 8, just for fun, see if I can maybe get some of the artifacts. And we'll see how it goes. We are getting assaulted by Satis, who's doing a very good job of it. He's got a great big army of his own over here. I don't have a real good, easy answer to available right now, but I'm actually going to move all these guys over here. I'm going to collapse them into this fort to defend the throne, and I'm collapsing a whole bunch more mages over to defend the throne as well. There's no point bringing her. Actually, I do need to bring some nature magic so that I can cast Serpent's Blessing to defend myself against Foul Vapors. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, Foul Vapors. So, we're going to make it bloody, at least. We're going to go down swinging. We will die on our feet. We're going to lose Wood of Many Paths. There's not really a whole lot I can do here. I could Communion up and cast Power of the Spheres, Light of the Northern Star. That would push me up to Astral 4. With Astral 4, I could cast Doom, which would be pretty cool. I don't think Will of the Fates, or even actually Will of the Fates would be pretty nice as well. I just don't think my Communion can withstand doing that. I considered Vortex of Returning, but it carries the entire army back to the home province, and I'm not sure entirely how that works. Like, it says the entire army, every unit in the army, well, where do they go? Like, what province do they end up in? Actually, it might be an interesting experiment. And after all, this is definitely a low-impact setting, so we're going to cast Power of the Spheres. Over here, we're going to cast Light of the Northern Star, which you won't actually be able to cast, because it requires Astral 3. And I don't have a spare Astral booster, because they're all on people who are casting Master and Slave. So you'll be Astral 2, Power of the Sphere is Astral 3, and then Vortex of Returning costs 3 gems. Yeah, so you have to be Astral 4 in order to cast it. Yeah, I think instead I'll just cast Doom to curse everyone. I think that's what I'll do. Give him 3 pearls here, and conservative magic gem usage, so he'll curse everyone as they come in. And my troops will kind of defend the fort as best they can. So these guys will stand up front, we'll have the crossbows behind them. More troops to stand up front, and they're all going to be on hold and attack. Hold and attack. Hold and attack, not you guys. You don't need orders. Hold and attack. You could be with them. Or with them. There we go. And yeah, Communion Master, we don't need Light of the Northern Star then. You'll be Astral 2, Earth 2, so you can summon Earth Power. That makes you Earth 3. And then you can cast Marble Warriors or Battle Fortune. Just throw Maws. Just throw some Maws of the Earth down. I've got some Earth Gems. So you'll be like right there. So we'll doom them. We'll throw Maws of the Earth to kill some of them. We'll do a little bit of damage against this army. Not a huge amount. I mean, the Daibak and Mono are mostly going to sit back and shoot arrows at me, and he's going to spam spells. But, like I said, I can at least curse them. Actually, Maws of the Earth is range... Yeah, it's only range 30. Well, we'll see what he casts. If there's nothing in range, he won't cast Maws. If there is something in range, he might kill some of the green lions. Because it is, after all, magic damage. So, that's the turn. And I'll see you all in turn 82.